Today I will explain you automated data flow. So day to day, banks and financial institutions, they will be submitting lot of reports to RBI. So while preparation, they will use Excels, they will use different formats. They will get the data from the system, they will convert to Excel. So RBI says we want the data in this format. So during this, lot of manual intervention will be there. So lot of mistakes maybe possibility is there. So while entering data, while conversion, while getting the system, and they'll convert it to Excel, then submit it to RBI. RBI, different people will submit in different formats. So then consolidation also will be a big task. So to eliminate all those things, RBI come up with the automated data flow. Reserve Bank of India depend on the data submitted to bank, and quality of the data is great importance, because whatever the quality data they are getting the bank, that will be consolidated and the same will be published to government or in public domain. So whatever the data getting from the bank, it should be a quality data. In order to meet the need of correct and constant data, the Reserve Bank of India initiated ADF project to get the correct data. So this ADF, automated data flow project, has started by RBI. So objective is to eliminate the manual intervention. Already we have discussed now. So getting the data from the branches, entering to the Excel in head office, regional office, they'll consolidate, they'll send it to regional office, they'll consolidate, they'll send it to head office. So any mistakes, once again they'll send it to regional office. A lot of all manual interventions, mistakes they want to eliminate, and they want a quality data. So for that reason, ADF project is started. So now, why already? Because previously some systems are running in a standalone system, some banks are software running in a core banking, some systems they are still in manual, some branches still in manual. Now all the banks are running in a core banking. Now it is easy to implement these requirements. So now, addition to regulate transaction activities, so now core banking is there. So it is possible. The reason RBI implemented this project. So what is the approach? No specific approach recommendation for the achieving the ADF due date. Reason the various banks have different levels of IT process maturity. Yes, some banks they'll have 100% digitalization. Some banks they'll have 50%. So there is no specific approach, but approach paper of ADF clearly articulates common state achieving the objective of the ADF. So there is no specific approach, but they want to clearly mention the objective of ADF for all the banks. So technology or process, no specific technology. So you can use your own core banking, your own vendor, service provider, process. So process recommendations, everything given by ADF. So now you can decide the vendor, service provider. Finally, they want the ADF, automated data flow, and implementation. So banks can refer the methodology given by the approach paper to access the people, process, technology, maturity, everything clearly given in ADF project that they can follow, and the timelines also they have given. As per the timelines, they can implement the ADF project directly from the source system without any man. So the main context of ADF is manual intervention should be removed. The data should be flown from banks to RBI, so that they will initially few reports will be directly generated from the RBI. Later stage, complex reports also will be generated by the RBI without asking the banks. Whether any data definition, reporting format, rationalization of returns, etc. has been prescribed under the ADF project? No. So because we are giving the ADF data, different on the formats, RBI will generate the returns and statements as per their requirement. Your main aim is, as per ADF, you give the data so that RBI will generate the reports. Whether data will be pushed or okay. For one is like banks are pushing the data to RBI, or RBI directly they want to pull from the branch bank's database. At present, it is not decided. It is in now. It will be standard flow. So once it is streamlined and stabilized, then they will decide whether they want to go for the push or pull methodology. So whether any ADF implementation will be piecemeal or historic? No, this is not a piecemeal. It is a holistic plan designed and implemented for a long term. So phase wise, it will be implemented. Detailed roadmap already provided. Timelines. So total timelines for the completion of project for ADF would be depend on the cluster which bank plates itself after making the assessment of process, technology, maturity, methodology given the approach. So depend on the bank's uh, cluster and their technology maturity. So depend on that one. RBI given date has given timelines for different banks, different categories, different technology matured banks. So depend on the dates, the project will be implemented. Yes, built should be meet the current requirements. So regularity reporting prescribed by the various department. Yes, it should like it should cover all the departments in the RBI. So RBI have a different departments. With this ADF, it should meet the requirements for all the departments of RBI. Which all the returns are applicable to a bank? List of returns generally applicable to bank has made available in approach paper. Yes, what are the returns applicable already uh, mentioned in the approach paper. However, every bank is required to work all the RBI returns applicable to. Yes, every bank is required to work on all the RBI returns applicable. So after full implementation, then it will be decided whether it will be generated from the bank or it will be generated from the RBI. Roadmap, yes, clear roadmap as prepared and recommendations of the approach paper enable the banks to set the milestones. So maybe lot of returns are available. In that they have classified and they have given the roadmap and the timelines for the different set of reports. And you have to RBI is monitoring the progress made. Okay, we have 100 reports. How many coming through manual directly? How many coming through ADF? So these are monitoring RBI. They have given the different timelines for different reports. Okay, about the returns requiring quantitative input. Yes, such returns will be require qualitative subjective inputs narrations by the considering the classification of the complex returns will be implemented in the last stage of the project, end of the project. Initially, it will be simple reports will be moved generated from ADF data, and in end of the project, all the complex returns will be generated from the ADF data. Thank you, friends. If you like my video, please subscribe. Keep on watching my channel. So my channel will be useful for the people appearing for with bank exams and appearing for the bank interviews.